And now joining us is Torey Lovullo, the skipper of the D-backs. And Torey, time to brag on your starting rotation. In fact, this game coming up, you have the two best starter ERAs in the National League, in the league, with the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. Is your pitching better than we expected?
You know what? I appreciate all the love you're giving us right now, but it's something that internally we felt very strong about from day one. We knew that we had, 5 up to 8 really capable starting pitchers inside of our system, and they're going out on a very high level and executing and doing exactly what we want to do. It's about game planning, it's about commanding the baseball, it's about throwing it where you want to, and our guys are doing a very good job of that, and it's translating in a very positive way right now.
Yeah, lefty Tyler Gilbert goes for you guys today. Ryan Pepio for the Dodgers, getting another start for the Dodgers in this first game of the doubleheader. Tell me a little bit more about your starter today. Tell us something about him we may not know.
Well, the biggest thing that stands out for me about Tyler is that he's persevered. He's been on a road less traveled by a lot of other pitchers that have come to the big leagues and had the type of success that he's had, and he's just grinded through this part of his early part of his career and just said, look, I'm going to find my way back to the big leagues and help them win baseball games when needed. And we know what he did last year. He threw a no-hitter in his first career start, and he's never let that go to his head. He's come out and he's done his work, and he's been back in the minor leagues, which you don't customarily see when somebody has the type of success that he had last year, but he hasn't let that affect him. He's come out every single time we've needed him to. He's been up here a couple times now and executed a great game plan. He's thrown the ball extremely well for us.
I would imagine you feel pretty confident sending any one of your arms out there, Torey, but you look at Zach Gallen, what Merrill Kelly have done. And, oh, by the way, let's not forget about Madison Bumgarner and some of your other starters as well. But Zach and Merrill in particular, what have they done so well?
Well, first of all, with Zach, I think he's done a really good job of attacking the zone and, establishing his fastball. You can just feel that fastball presence from the first pitch of the game on, and then the secondary stuff, it doesn't matter when he tries to get to it, it's been there. And it's been 2 or 3 pitches outside of the fastball that he can land at any time in any part of the zone. And, he's just on a really good run. And Merrill Kelly's doing the same thing. Merrill can X the edges of the strike zone. He's top to bottom as well. But I will say this, and Bum threw the ball extremely well yesterday. Unfortunately, he had a little bad luck, but he's throwing the ball really well. We have an architect behind the scenes in Brent Strom. He's come on board here, and he's changed the landscape and the trajectory of our starting rotation and really our entire pitching staff, and done a great job of creating buy-in, and he's had a lot of success, and there's instant credibility with what he's done, and he's doing a super job of having these guys go out and execute a different part of their game plan. It's been translating.
Yeah, Brent was the biggest offseason signing of any of the 30 clubs. He works magic with your entire pitching staff. All right, switching gears now to the offense. I want to talk a little bit about Ketel Marte. Had a bad start to the season, but he seems like he's gaining some traction. What have you noticed in his ABs?
Yeah, early on, I think everybody tries to get 5 hits in their first game and establish where they're going to start out and work from there. But it just didn't happen. I think he was pressing a little bit, and he knows what he means to this ball club and this lineup. And it just took him a little while. He was going outside of the zone. There was a lot of chase. There's a lot of chase on pitches that he probably couldn't do damage on or even really get to. And then once he got into a little bit of a rhythm and started to get into a good hitting spot where he was able to survey the strike zone, he started to lay off some pitches that were giving him problems. So as soon as he started to do that, he was kind of centering things, bringing it into the zone, started translating. He's had a lot of success. And he's a special player. We know that. But he's got work to do. He can't take things for granted. Every player we have needs to go out there and execute and do their job at a high level by working hard when they get to the ballpark.
That's a life lesson for all of us. Alec Thomas, the #1 prospect in the Diamondbacks organization, gets the call up, that center fielder. Why was it time for him?
Well, we knew what we had in the system. He came in and made a very positive impression in spring training. We just told him to go down and do what you do best, and when needed, make sure you're the right guy. And we had an injury. We had an injury to Carson Kelly. We shifted Dalton Varsho behind the plate, and we had a need for somebody who's going to track the baseball in center field and anchor it for us. And on top of that, we knew that he was coming along offensively and learning and growing piece by piece. So he's come in and made quite an impression, but we knew what we had in Alec. And, once again, a young player having success, and we know that there's going to be ups and downs, and we want to limit those, and we want to be able to give him the best road to the success that we expect him to have. And really what it's going to come down to is preparation, focus, and a lot of hard work, and he's doing that every single day.
Yeah, a good backstop is so important to guide a pitching staff. How is Carson?
Carson is doing okay. I had a little conversation with him in the dugout before we left the day before yesterday, and he's feeling good. He's starting to initiate baseball activities. He's going to start to get out on the field. He's been inside of the cage doing some real light work, but you know the obliques are a little bit tricky at times, and they take a little bit of time. You just don't know when they jump up. But we're gonna make sure that when it's time for him to get out and rejoin us, that he's ready to go, and we'll play the whole season.
Nick, Ahmed on the IL, Gerardo Perdomo filling in the spot there. What have you seen from him in terms of his progress and his development?
Yeah, you know, we're missing Nicky right now for the next several days, and you know, in his absence, we have a very, very capable understudy, and we know that we have a lot of young players coming up through the system. Our scouting department has done an unbelievable job of creating depth, and we know we need that depth. So when, you know, a Gold Glove shortstop like Nick Ahmed goes down, you wonder what's going to happen, but that curiosity is no longer a part of us because we have guys like Geraldo Perdomo ready to step in and get after it and do a job, and he's been doing a great job. He's picking up the ball, he's making plays at full speed, and you know, I talk about practicing at full speed and going out and executing at full speed, and these guys are doing it, especially Geraldo. And offensively, he's coming along, a young hitter who's attacking the baseball, driving the baseball, and learning how to slug as well.
A guy that knows how to do his job and does it well as you, Torey Lovullo. You now have the franchise lead in managerial wins at 355, and you're among a list of very, very capable skippers. What does that number mean to you?
Yeah, I appreciate that, Alanna. You know, it means that I've been here a long time, right? But it goes a little deeper than that. It means that, you know, ownership with Ken and Derek have put a lot of faith in me and trust me, and Mike Hazen and the rest of the guys have trusted me from the dugout level. And then it means a lot to me that the players have bought into what my concepts are, as quirky and as odd as they may seem at times. You know, I just want to make sure that they know I have their back and that I'm gonna pull for them the right way every single day. And you know, we create a great bond inside of our clubhouse, and it's pretty special to all of us, and that goes a long way. And you know, the fans, good and bad, they've been there for me, they've backed me, and we want to get this thing turned around. And I'm just thankful that they have enough faith in me that they're going to give me that opportunity.
Yeah, you guys have certainly been competitive already in 2022. A race there in the NL West. A lot of players love playing for you, Torey. Thanks so much for your time. Best of luck in that doubleheader against the Dodgers.